All right, so we've talked about qualitative and quantitative research. What I want to talk to you now about are research tools for monitoring. Okay. In any job today, in any advertising job, media job, um, this particular area of expertise is highly valued. Okay. This area is called digital analytics. What are people doing online? What are they saying online? What are they thinking online? Right? The trends around content, the trends around consumer insight. This stuff is like fascinating. And we use it quite a bit in advertising research. Okay. So there are different ways to analyze how people are thinking or what they're saying. And there are some really interesting companies that are doing this work. Um, so, what I wanted to do was to give you, um, an idea about what kind of software is out there, and how you can probably figure out a way to learn some of this software, and the opportunities that can open up when you know some of this software. Okay. So let's look at this one. Tobii, I think it's Tobii. Check out what they're doing.
We're really proud since this is an amazing product. Super easy to use, so accessible, and the possibilities are really endless. All the developers, the engineers, the designers, everyone has been really, really passionate about making a really good product. One of the really cool new features with Tobii Glasses 2 is the wireless live viewing function, which allows you to watch in real time what a respondent or a person is looking at. One of the best possible user experiences in wearable eye tracking that's on the market today. And you can also do powerful visualizations, you can do lots of statistics based on those recordings. With Glasses 1, we revolutionized the eye tracking market. With Glasses 2, we will do it again.
This is Cami. Cami was born unable to walk or even speak, but that hasn't stopped her from smiling. When Cami heard, "What's your goal?" her parents said nothing would make her happier than to score a goal with an assist from her favorite player, me.
I have lost 5 teeth. How many have you lost?
Oh, I lost 10 teeth.
I love the Blackhawks.
I love the Blackhawks too. Forehand, backhand.
I have been unable to use my fingers to type since around November 2013. I have used the eye gaze system since then. The communication software has been the biggest improvement. It is quite slick and fast. The dwell-free keyboard is so quick, I find I have to really know what I want to say. It is sometimes quicker than my mind. I don't think you can underestimate the effects that being able to communicate can have.
Okay, so this was, one of the many technologies that are out there. Um, you know, eye tracking is something that we use quite a bit in advertising. We need to tell our sales guys how many people actually looked at the ad. The heat maps that you saw, that is something that we use very regularly in advertising, um, to see where are people looking in our ads. Are they looking at the title? Are they looking at the product? I mean, this is obviously when everything's online, right? And then sometimes you have like labs where you bring in people, you have them put on this equipment and see where they're looking on a site. Or, if it was Facebook, Facebook's constantly looking at improving their product, right? Just like LinkedIn or Twitter or Instagram, right? And they all use this sort of eye tracking. It's a great research method to see where are people looking. Are they able to navigate to the places we want them to navigate? Okay, so this is eye tracking, and Toby's just one of the many companies that is doing this kind of work. Clearly, Toby's way ahead with its version 2, version 3, doing many, many things, life-changing things. But this technology is definitely being used in eye tracking for advertising. Okay, the next one is Radian 6. Let's look at the ad.
Let's take a look at Radian 6, the leading social media monitoring and engagement platform. There are 60 million Facebook updates, 200 million tweets, and 3 billion YouTube views every day. We are experiencing a social revolution. People are talking about your company and products online, but the volume of information can be overwhelming. How do you make sense of all this? Radian 6 will transform the way you listen and engage with customers across the social web. Here's how a company like GNC might use Radian 6. Let's take a look. It all starts with listening. This is the Radian 6 dashboard. Pick a set of keywords about your company, industry, or even competitors. You can search on more than 150 million sources, including blogs, Twitter, YouTube, and lots more. Let's dig into the analysis. These are all the mentions of GNC in the last month. But how do you make sense of 30,000 conversations? There are lots of ways to sort data with Radian 6. Let's see who's having the most impact. Look at this. Bethany is talking about GNC. With this one tweet, she is potentially reaching and influencing over 600,000 people. You can also see trends in the conversation over time. Let's drill into one of these spikes and see what people are talking about. Supplements were a popular topic that day. Maybe GNC launched a new ad campaign. This real-time customer feedback is like having your own internet focus group. Let's see which other GNC products people are talking about. Here, you can compare the buzz about different products. Looks like coconut water is pretty popular. And Radian 6 doesn't stop with listening. You can also engage in the conversation in the same channel the customer is using. Here's one of those people talking about coconut water. This may be a good time for GNC to tweet a coupon to Jay Brenneman. And because Radian 6 is integrated with Salesforce, you can easily pull that information right into the social profile for your customer. Radian 6 makes slicing and dicing easy. Sometimes a busy executive just needs a snapshot. The summary dashboard shows demographics, influencers, share of voice, and other key metrics. And these reports can be sent to you automatically. That's a quick look at how Radian 6 can help you listen and engage to social conversations online. But Radian 6 is much more. Contact us today to book a free demo and learn how Radian 6 can help your organization.
Okay, so this is a social listening tool. There are many such products in the market. I've personally used Radian 6, and that's why I thought maybe that's a good one, and they had a great ad, so I could share this with you. But this is a great social listening tool. What are people talking about? And specifically, what are they saying about your product? And is there a way to interact with these people who are your mini influencers and amplify that impact and the effects? Okay, so this is another listening tool that, another kind of tool that can help you understand how your marketing is doing, how your advertising is doing. Here's a third one, and this one is called Keyhole.
Hi, I'm Skylar from Keyhole. Check out Quick Trends, a new Keyhole feature. Quick Trends is like Google Trends, but for Twitter. When you go into your account, you'll see a new tab on the left-hand navigation bar called Quick Trends. Enter the hashtag, keyword, or phrase you'd like to search to see the number of conversations happening on Twitter. Add multiple search terms to do competitor research. Change the time frame here, and share or embed this chart with your colleagues and clients. FYI, your searches will be saved. It's a great tool to get an instant Twitter overview of hashtags or keywords, run competitor research, market research, and what's most popular. I hope you enjoy the feature. Let us know what you think.
So this is research for Twitter, right? And this is another tool that people use, social media research tool. And here's another one. The last one here is Mention. Here we go.
Everybody's talking. Are you listening? Meet Mention, the perfect tool for companies that want to listen to every conversation anywhere online, to keep their ears open to all brand discussions, and I mean all brand discussions, to understand the bigger picture, or pay attention to every little detail. For teams that need to show their customers they care. To find out what makes them happy. And keep an eye out for valuable influencers. For companies that want a simpler way to do reporting, eavesdrop on the competition, and keep everybody in the know. All of that in one easy-to-use app that you can manage yourself, or we can do it for you.
Hi, this is Julian from Mention. How can I help you?
Ready to take full control of your brand online? Talk to us today. Or tomorrow. Well, soon.
Okay, so that is Mention, and also a great tool that I have used before. Okay, what I want to do now is share two more things, and then we'll be done with this video. Key performance indicators, right? This is a term that we see thrown around quite a bit. And, this is once the business goals have been defined, we start to look at some of these performance indicators. And this is specifically to social media, right? So how will we measure the engagement? How will we measure our reach for our ads? How will we measure the action, right? And those are the questions that you want to ask to make some sort of case for how you did. Okay, so the engagement on social media would be the number of clicks on your social media ad, or the likes, or the shares, right? You use specific tools to understand how many times your brand was mentioned, or how many people made comments on your ad, or how many people actually decided to go click on your logo and go to your own profile page, right? And that all of that shows engagement, right? People who are actively looking for and searching and commenting on your ad about your brand. Okay. The second one there is reach. How many followers do you have? What kind of traffic are we bringing to a site? Those kinds of questions are really important to measure impact of your advertising, how you did with the ads, and did anyone really take action? Were they persuaded enough to hit the learn more button, or were they persuaded enough to click on your ad and go to your page, your website, right? How many people actually acted how many people actually donated, if that's what your ad is about, right? And so that is how we measure how we did. That's how we measure our success. And so the term that you want to remember is KPI, or key performance indicators. All right. The last slide for this video is a Google Analytics slide. Right now, if you've ever had a business online or a website, they often, like WordPress has it as well, right? They connect your website with some numerical understanding of how your website is doing, right? So if you had a sales, if you had a site where you were selling something, you want to know how many people came to your website. If you have a blog, you want to know who's reading what article and from which location, and how long did they spend on that article, right? And so Google Analytics has honestly the best tool set that I have used. And it gives you a really good understanding of popularity of your site, how your website is doing, how many people clicked on a particular page or a link. How many people come to your site every day? So those are the kinds of things that most people want to know. And we have tools now that allow us to get that information and improve our experience for the users, or just efficiency of your own website. Okay, so that is web analytics. So in this particular video, we have talked about the different research tools that we use for monitoring. We've talked about tools such as Toby. We've talked about Radian 6. We've talked about Keyhole. We've talked about Mention. We've talked about KPIs, or key performance indicators. And our last slide talks about Google Analytics that help us gauge the traffic on our sites, the popularity of specific products or an article or post, and how many visitors come to our site and from which part of the world. Okay. And that's that.